Hello and welcome to Anarchy in the Ukulele with me, Paul, and with KD. What?
I don't know.
What is that with you?
With me, Paul.
Well, that's my name. What's funny about that?
I've never heard you do it and not go with me, Paul Mansell.
Hello and welcome to Anarchy in the Ukulele with me, Paul Mansell, and
Why
KD.
are you saying Paul Mansell?
Because I wanted to make it official. What are we doing today, KD?
We have got a couple of Peter Moss ukuleles.
We have two different sizes we've got here.
The concert and the tenor.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a review on these bad boys.
Yeah.
We'll take you through all the specs and all the bits and bobs.
So look at this, the Peter Moss Flight Signature Ukulele.
Yeah.
And
is that its official title?
Yeah, that is its official title. So I've got the tenor.
Yep, and this is the concert. So we'll go through what the differences are. There's an immediate difference that I can see straight away, and the colouring on the tenor is slightly darker, isn't it?
Yeah.
This has kind of got a readier finish.
Yeah. Although the fronts, this one's slightly more green. Actually got a slight green sort of feel to it, whereas that one's sort of black officially.
There's a slight difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unlikely, unless you're Pete, that you're probably going to own the concert and the tenor.
That's true, yeah.
But so you're not really going to compare them like that.
Yeah.
Both nice finishes,
lovely,
aren't they?
Lovely look. They've come up with a great name for this, haven't they?
The Moonburst.
Yeah. So I think
because Sunburst is very Gibson.
Yeah, they'd probably be sued if they called it the Sunburst, and it's dark. So
yeah, I think other manufacturers do the Sunburst now, but yeah, Moonburst because it's dark, which is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. So you got this lovely sort of solid almost bit around here, and then it goes in sort of to this way. You can see the wood behind it, can't you? Which is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Really good looking. I mean, it's not unusual.
Sorry, loved by anyone?
Yeah, it's not dissimilar to the Flight that I've got, the Fireball to look at. It's just more fancy.
Shape-wise, I mean, this is a shape that Flight seem to have landed on in recent years, isn't it? With, I think, starting with the Victoria and then the Mustang, the Nighthawk. So it's a very popular shape, isn't it? I mean, it works incredibly well.
Yeah.
The cutaways seem to be slightly different on some and things like that, but so let's go through the specs. Solid spruce top.
I'll be like Debbie McGee and I'll model it. There you go.
Sam, just focus on me. Solid spruce top, good for projection. Solid mahogany back and sides, African mahogany, I believe.
Okie dokie.
They say rosewood fingerboard and bridge.
Yeah.
Really nice condition as well.
Yeah.
Mahogany neck. I always said rosewood fretboard, a bone, a nut and saddle, 36mm nut, which I know kind of some people get hung up on the nut width.
Yeah.
I've never bought a guitar and even considered what the nut width is on it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just whether it's comfortable to you.
Yeah.
We'll get on to playing it, but I find these very comfortable to play.
Yeah.
36mm nut width, Worth Brown strings as standard.
Yeah.
I think they both come with a high G, but that one from the suppliers had a low G on it, but still Worth Browns.
Yeah.
Because you love a low G now, don't you?
I do love a low G.
You love a low G.
Yeah.
We've got open gear tuners, which are, I mean, again, they're kind of the Flight ones that are on.
It's the standard thing now, isn't it?
Pretty much,
the standard
Flight
headstock really for Flight.
They're really, the thing I like about them is that they're metal buttons,
right,
and not the plastic.
Yeah,
buttons.
they feel they're not going to break over years, are they? I've not seen any discoloration on them over the years either. No. I mean, going towards the bridge end, the thing that I like about this, because one thing that I do have a minor issue with mine on is that this is not the peg system.
Yeah.
And I think Pete specifically wanted the one where, so you've got to thread it through with a knot, haven't you?
Yeah, it's the through bridge.
I mean, I personally find that a bit difficult to get my hand in there because of my massive hands to thread it through, but I much prefer this system. It's not going to come out. On the Fireball, on the A, mine has shot out before.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen on this.
No, and I think because not all ukuleles, but most ukulele strings don't come with the little metal loops on the bottom, so you have to tie
it's only
knots.
Martins that do, I think.
Yeah, there's one manufacturer that do.
It's Martins
and I'm always using them on a uke that doesn't have a pin bridge, so I have to cut them off.
yeah.
But
I also think that's neater. I don't particularly like the little studs that you get there. I think that looks neater. That would be my preference out of the two systems.
Yeah.
So these, you can plug in these babies as well, can't you?
So they've both got pickups in, and it is the double pickup that Flight use. So you get tone control and a volume control.
Yeah.
Really nice pickups. I think they use the same pickup on a lot of their ukuleles now. I mean, most Flights that have pickups use the double system, unless it's the Soundwave system.
Yeah.
So design-wise, we've got satin neck. Let's go from top to bottom. We've got the geared tuners. Black and gold, really nice. We've got a satin neck. Why anyone wouldn't want anything but a satin neck, I never understand. We've got the stripe down the back, which I always think is a nice kind of design element to it.
Yeah.
So I like that. As we said before, solid mahogany back and sides. One join in the back that's really nice. The sides are slightly darker. I don't know what it's like on the Tenor. They're slightly darker than the back.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not so noticeable on the Tenor.
That looks slightly more dyed or artificial colour than that. That's quite a natural look, isn't it? Whereas I'm assuming...
But I like that, because what it does is it kind of blends the colouring round to the dark front.
It's subtle, but very, very nice.
And there's not... there's a couple of Flight ukuleles where I find if the front's dark, the contrast between the front and the sides is a little bit too much.
Yeah, so this blends nicely, doesn't it, as you sort of spin it around.
I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a stunning looking piece of wood there. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You've got... So you have the strap button at the bottom, and this one's had a strap button fitted here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't come as standard.
No, this one's got one as well.
Oh, that one's... Yeah.
Then you just plug it in there, don't you?
But you get the strap button at the bottom, where you also plug your jack plug in. As with every Flight, you look inside them, and they look so well built.
Yeah, and I love the way they hide the battery. I've got another uke where you have to put a 9-volt battery in here, where these are LR22s, tucks ever so neatly in there. The problem with putting them there is often you get vibration.
Yeah.
Either the flap will vibrate, or the battery will vibrate. Normally the flap. Here, I've never had a problem on this uke since we've been playing it, or on mine with any problems with the battery tucking in there. It's nice. I
really don't like it when the controls are up here.
I don't, because half the time they don't put them straight as well, which is annoying.
I mean, I don't like the look of it.
Well, I think it stops it looking like an acoustic instrument. Which, okay, it's important that this plugs in, but fundamentally it's got to work aesthetically and acoustically as an instrument.
Yeah, I think hide them away, which is in the guitar world, that's become a thing now. It's very rare that you see a decent guitar with the pickups. I think Taylor possibly still do it. They have but they just have 3 knobs.
Yeah,
and they don't have the big sort of black box on there. But Martin use very similar pickups.
I think sometimes they do that because they have a tuner on them. Obviously, could you have a tuner in there? I don't know, but
I've never found those tuners.
They're never accurate anyway.
To be good. Didario do a really nice clip-on tuner that just clips in there and you can't see it unless you look in the sound hole from above like that.
Yeah,
that's really nice. Anyway, we go off at a tangent. So I tell you what. I mean, you had a little play at the beginning.
Yeah.
Give us a little example of the tone of the instrument and what you think of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first off, so we're on a low G. It's not a problem, but I knew I was going to like this. For a couple of reasons. A, it's very similar to the ukulele I play, so I had high expectations. It's slightly, I wouldn't say better looking, different looking. P.Man, fantastic player. I call him the Liberace of the ukulele, and this is a bit more bling, isn't it? It's got a bit of Pete in it, hasn't it? I don't mean physically, that's not his bone there or anything, but you know what I mean.
Let's Paul go with it.
Pete's been involved.
Hold on, we'll cut this. That's not his bone.
That's not his bone. It's not physically got him in it, but Pete embodies this ukulele.
Although I think it's subtly done. I don't think it's too blingy, because some ukuleles for me are way too blingy, and I think it's subtle
bling. And the tone beautiful. And what I like about it, it's got a nice range. Have a little listen to this. And then have a listen to this. Same chord. There's a world of difference. You know, if I'm playing classical on this, I can be nice and gentle. Yeah. I can be nice and harsh. It's got a good range, but I don't have to bomb too far up and down the neck.
It strikes me, it's got the projection that you might want, but it's also got a mellow. I mean, the strings are going to contribute to that as well, but it's
and it's only going to get better with time as well. I mean, I wouldn't sit here if I was doing a classical concert. I wouldn't think, oh God, I need to plug that in. You know, I'd happily sort of play this, you know, acoustically. It's mellow, but bright at the same time. You know,
I think because we've been kind of playing with these for a couple of days, and I think. For me, it's... Ooh, well, look at that. That's never happened in a video before. We've just ticked over the next subscriber.
Oh, how exciting.
Whoever just subscribed, thank you.
It was me talking about Pete in such a way.
It was Pete. It's subscribed, yeah. But I don't... I'm trying to use the right phrase because all-rounder makes something sound like it's a bit generic and doesn't excel at one thing, and that's not what I mean at all. But because it's got the projection, it's got the mellow tone, I feel like you can play this and you can play it hard, and if you're a strummer, you can strum it hard and it doesn't get harsh.
Yeah.
Because some ukuleles, if you're really going at it,
they lose that quality.
They get a bit harsh and the sound almost breaks up a little bit. This doesn't. You can really go at that, but on the other side of that, if you want to play some jazz chords,
play me a jazz chord, baby.
But if you want to play a little jazzy number, you then bring out the mellower side of the instrument.
But don't you think that's because it's the Pete Moss signature? That's Pete, isn't it? You know, he's playing jazz chords 1 minute, the next he's doing something mellow. He's, you know, on the chords.
The next his hands going at 225 beats per minute, if I remember correctly. But he can also be pretty subtle. So I think, actually, I don't think it's offensive to say it is an all-rounder. No, I think you do. You just have to be careful because, like I say, you don't want to make something sound like it doesn't excel. But it kind of excels at both of those ends, I think.
Definitely.
I think you've got that mellow jazz sound and it really works nicely for. But if you do want to, because lots of people buy ukuleles and they're strummers, and that's what they do. I'm more of a strummer than a finger picker.
Yeah.
And you know, we use ukuleles for band type things. It works in that because certainly if we're playing in the band, for instance, and I think if you're in a ukulele group as well, your playing tends to get louder and louder as your gig or your rehearsal or your practice goes on, and the more people are there playing, the more you kind of really hit it. And I find some ukuleles they get brittle sounding and they get harsh sounding, and this one doesn't.
No, it's very soft. You know, it's got a great action. The intonation's impeccable as you go up the neck. Lovely looking. Should we talk about what we don't like?
Go on then. What don't you like?
Nothing. I haven't got anything to say that I don't like, and you know, I'm
gonna find something.
Are you gonna find something?
Well, I think it's always nice to have something that you don't like.
Yeah. Well, while you're finding something you don't like, because we could be here a while, how are they making and selling this for under £400?
Yeah, that's a real surprise, isn't it? Because I can't see how sound-wise playability it doesn't rival the ukuleles that they're putting out for slightly higher.
Yeah, because the Fireball is more, isn't it? And I would happily play this as equal to the Fireball.
I think some of it is to do with woods.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I'm presuming that Mango at the minute might be slightly more expensive because the Fireball's just gone up in price.
Yeah.
So I think some of it's to do with woods.
I assume also the more flight go on, the more ukuleles they sell, economies of scale, they should be able to, you know, things get cheap. I know we've got things are getting more expensive in life, but you know, they get better at these things. Presumably, once you've designed one, the design element, you know, the cost goes down a bit, doesn't it? So there must be that. But for £400,
yeah,
whoa.
Yeah, it is remarkable, isn't it?
You know,
it is remarkable.
And I can't imagine anyone picking this up and not liking it. You know, they did when they bought this out and they got it finalised, were they like, yeah, we've got a winner there. That's going to do well, because I think it's selling really well.
Yeah,
from what I hear.
Yeah, I think I am trying to find something I don't like on it.
Oh yeah, I am.
My brain is going.
Well, let's talk about it. So it says Pete's name is here, and sometimes we talked about this a bit yesterday, didn't we? On signature models, it can be a bit too big, but that's quite subtle, isn't it? As well,
it is subtle. That's probably as much as I would want to get away with signature.
You know, it flashes, don't you? You know when you turn it on, that flash is neon, and plays a little tune, plays a little Pete Moss tune for you. That's the weakness. It should have done that.
But yeah, that's as far as I would want to go with the signature model, because I don't. It is a preference thing. I think if you're a massive fan of somebody, and you're buying the ukulele because you're a fan of them, then you're probably quite happy to have the signature really kind of in your face. And some people have it, you know, kind of blazoned across the ukulele. Most signature models that I like aren't necessarily because of the person who they are. I always say my bass that is the love of my life, my Fender jazz bass, is actually a Flea bass.
Is it really?
Yeah. And his signature is just scratched onto the back plate of the bass. But having, and I always say I'm not a bass player, but actually I've gone out and do quite a lot of professional bass gigs, and I'm always happy to take it out because people just look at it and it's relict and it looks old and bashed around and it looks really cool. If it kind of had Flea really visible on it, I wouldn't have been happy to do that at pro gigs.
I know.
That's just me. So, you know, I think that's as far as I want to go, because I think it is done quite subtly. I mean, effectively, you know how much I love the Fireball. Take the Fireball, correct the one thing that I don't like, the pegs. Make it slightly prettier. You know, it's pretty much there, isn't it? It's, you know, pretty much the perfect uke, really. We didn't mention, which I really like, the Cutaway. I really like. You can see it more on that one, I think. It's in the mahogany and it's in the same wood as the side, as opposed to quite often on flights. That's kind of like a gloss black.
Again, I actually prefer that, if I'm honest, to the flight. I think I like it on the flight, but I think
I'm Fireball.
Thank you.
Give us another range of sounds, Paul. Give us something strummy.
Something strummy. That was as good as Pete, wasn't it?
No. Do a comparison. Same thing on that.
Oh, sorry.
It's interesting one that you misthreaded there slightly, because you went to the concert. The difference in sound is definitely there, isn't it? Which you'd expect. The tenor is a slightly bassy sound. It's got the low G on it as well, so that's going to make a big difference to it.
So have a listen to sort of single note melody. Now let's try it on that. Can't remember what I played, but oops. Slightly more.
There's more depth to the sounds. I mean, whether that picks up on the microphone, I don't know, but certainly in the room there's slightly more depth to the sound.
Plus you got a low G on this when you're doing the chords, of course.
My preference is the tenor. But that's because I play tenors pretty much solely, I think.
Well, funny enough, I mean, me too, but I was sat playing this in the other room, and
you couldn't decide between them. One second you were saying, I like the concert's my favourite.
And then
we were making fun of you, and then 10 seconds later, no, the tenor's my favourite.
Are you making fun of me? It's hard to choose between them. Both very, very playable.
I found something that I would maybe change, and I don't know what I would change it to.
going to be the markers, isn't it? Because it's the only thing we've not talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I think the markers are here because I believe Pete wanted them there so that when you look down, you don't have to do that, which is a great thing. I'm a bit of a symmetrical guy. That's why I'm so handsome, because of the symmetry. I like them in the middle. But there is a very valid point. Although I would say, to go against Pete on that, you have got the side markers. So potentially, I think there's for and against there.
Do you know what? My preference would be for a slight bit more bling.
Bit more bling on the markers.
A little bit more bling, and I've said it's really nice. So some of this perloid,
yes,
which I believe it is in there, but the lighter stuff.
See, I don't like that.
I would have that. Yeah, it's purely preference.
Yeah.
I think if that was in the markers and potentially on the moss, it would personally call to me a little bit more. That's my. I found something.
You found something,
but it's not really a criticism.
Work.
It's just the fact that I think that would make it just look a little. It would be just
a little bit more you.
Be icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not really a criticism. Let's be honest. It's an instrument that I think we can't help but recommend.
No, and I think if you bought this, you wouldn't particularly ever want to change.
Yeah,
I could happily, if you said to me, go and do a concert now, Paul, take that ukulele, I would be more than happy, and I would happily. In fact, I'm sort of after a second ukulele, and this is on my list.
Yeah,
especially at that price point.
Yeah. So another fantastic ukulele from Flight.
Yeah, well done, Flight.
Well, thank you for watching. We will get Paul to play out.
Yeah.
So that we've got plenty of sound samples for you to listen to. Please do like, subscribe, and ring the bell, which I'm going to elaborate on because it really helps us out. Subscriptions.
Yes. Yeah.
If you watch us, please subscribe because it helps us out. It's all we ask of you. We don't ask for any money.
No.
We give you loads.
Yeah, we give you loads. Too much. Some would say.
We give away way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do like, subscribe, ring the bell, and join us next time.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, prefer the tenor.
I really want to find something I don't like.
I tell you what, when you find something,
we'll cut this. What can I say I don't like? I can't find anything.
Is there anything at that? That's perfect.
Is there anything at all that you don't like?
We can't leave it at that.
Only that I get very little sleep because I'm playing it all the time.
Yeah.